Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island. Sacred numbers in Nolan's cross pinpoint the money pit. The Curse of Oak Island returned this week with a compelling theory that argued Nolan's cross was constructed using sacred geometric numbers, which point to Templar Knights and the money pit. This week's episode began with a bit of fanfare as the troops gathered at the garden shaft. This gave Rick Lagina the opportunity to give one of his speeches before dramatically unlocking a trapdoor covering the garden shaft. The team then left Dumas to get on with excavating the shaft. In the meantime, everyone gathered in the war room to hear the intriguing theory of Brian Faro. Brian has been examining the dimensions of Nolan's cross and has concluded that it holds the key to the whereabouts of the money pit. Named after its discoverer, landowner Fred Nolan, the stone feature includes a number of large boulders that resemble the shape of a giant cross. Brian called the cross a megalithic and mathematic phenomenon, and claimed it is constructed using sacred geometry. This is a practice common amongst ancient Christian builders of using so-called sacred numbers as measurements in the construction of a building or feature. Sacred Christian numbers on Nolan's cross point to the money pit. There are many numbers that are considered sacred, but Brian claimed that 6 particular numbers show through on Nolan's cross. These are 144, 288, 360, 432, 740, and 864. Brian stated that these numbers were used in the construction measurements of iconic Christian sites such as Chartres Cathedral in France, Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, and even Temple Mount in Jerusalem. The Nolan's cross expert then showed the guys a series of graphs where he had plotted how these numbers kept appearing in the cross's dimensions. Brian measured the horizontal and vertical parts of the cross along with the head. He also drew a circle encompassing the cross points and measured the length, width, and radius. And these numbers kept appearing in the measurements. If a number didn't look right, Brian would convert it from feet into inches and voila, there would be a sacred number. Brian had even more shocking information for the gang. Using a circle, he drew straight lines out from the center and each point of the cross and found they intersected at a point that landed just a few feet to the west of the garden shaft. This would be a hell of a coincidence. The theorist declared that this was the location of the money pit. Combined with the precious metal in the water and the network of tunnels recently uncovered, it really seems as though everything is pointing to the money pit. Craig Tester joked that they should have had Brian in years ago, as he would have saved them some time. Brian Faro says only Templar Knights had the expertise. The Fellowship asked Brian who could have built the money pit and left Nolan's cross as a marker. He had no doubt. He said only the Templar Knights would have the ability and the know-how to put such an operation together. As is always the case with the Fellowship, they wanted to immediately put Brian's theory to the test and start drilling straight away. But they have to wait for Dumas to finish excavating the garden shaft first. Luckily, the guys can probably combine the two tasks and have Dumas check out the spot as soon as they have the chance. By the end of the episode, Dumas had already completed the first 2 levels at the garden shaft, and then a hammer grab made a return to Oak Island, scooping out vast quantities of debris. Rick impatiently watched the process, but it shouldn't be too long before he gets to explore underground. The Curse of Oak Island has intrigued treasure hunters and historians for over 2 centuries. Situated off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, this small island is steeped in mystery, legends, and the tantalizing promise of hidden treasure. Among the many enigmatic features of Oak Island, Nolan's cross stands out, not just for its sheer size but for the sacred numbers that some believe could pinpoint the elusive money pit. Nolan's cross, named after Fred Nolan, a surveyor and treasure hunter who discovered it, consists of 5 large boulders arranged in the shape of a cross. Each arm of the cross measures approximately 867 feet, creating a perfect symmetry that hints at a deeper, perhaps divine, significance. The central stone, known as the headstone, sits at the intersection of the cross's arms, entering the formation in a geometric precision that seems unlikely to be a natural occurrence. Many researchers have proposed that Nolan's cross holds the key to unlocking Oak Island's secrets. The sacred numbers associated with the cross suggest a deliberate and intelligent design, possibly by the Knights Templar or another secretive group with advanced knowledge of mathematics and geometry. By decoding these numbers, some believe we can finally locate the fabled money pit, the legendary treasure vault rumored to contain everything from pirate gold to the Holy Grail. One of the most compelling aspects of Nolan's cross is its alignment with certain astronomical events. The 5 stones of the cross align perfectly with key celestial bodies at specific times of the year. For instance, during the summer solstice, the sun rises directly over the eastern arm of the cross, casting a shadow that points towards the central stone. This alignment suggests that the builders of the cross had a profound understanding of the movements of the heavens and intentionally incorporated this knowledge into their design. Furthermore, the distances between the stones in Nolan's cross are not random. They adhere to a series of sacred numbers that have appeared in various cultures and religious traditions throughout history. The number 867, for example, which represents the length of each arm of the cross in feet, is significant. Some theorists believe that this number, when broken down into its prime factors, reveals a hidden code. 867 can be expressed as 3x17x17, suggesting a repeated emphasis on the number 17, which has been linked to various mystical and esoteric traditions. Moreover, the angles formed by the intersecting arms of Nolan's cross are equally intriguing. The central intersection creates 4 right angles, symbolizing balance and harmony. However, the angle formed between the eastern arm and a line drawn from the headstone to the fabled money pit is approximately 23.5 degrees, the same as the axial tilt of the Earth. This could indicate that the cross's designers were aware of the Earth's tilt and used this knowledge to encode the location of the money pit within the cross's geometry. Beyond geometry, there is the intriguing possibility that the stones of Nolan's cross are positioned according to the Fibonacci sequence. This sequence, found throughout nature in everything from the spirals of galaxies to the growth patterns of plants, is often associated with the golden ratio, a mathematical proportion that has fascinated scholars and artists for centuries. If the distances between the stones follow the Fibonacci sequence, it would suggest that the builders were not only skilled mathematicians but also that they intended to imbue their creation with a sense of natural harmony and divine order. These sacred numbers and geometrical alignments provide a tantalizing glimpse into the minds of the cross's creators. They suggest that Nolan's cross is more than a random collection of stones. It is a carefully constructed monument with a specific purpose. By decoding the numbers and understanding the geometry, treasure hunters may be able to pinpoint the exact location of the money pit. One popular theory posits that if we superimpose a geometric grid over Nolan's cross, using the sacred numbers as our guide, we can triangulate the precise spot where the money pit is buried. By drawing lines connecting the stones according to the principles of sacred geometry, we create a map that leads us to the heart of Oak Island's mystery. This method, combining ancient wisdom with modern technology, could finally unravel the enigma that has eluded so many. Despite numerous excavations and countless theories, the money pit remains undiscovered. However, the idea that Nolan's cross holds the key continues to captivate and inspire. Each stone, each number and each angle within the cross offers a clue, a piece of the puzzle that, when fully understood, could reveal the treasure's location. The sacred numbers embedded in Nolan's cross are a testament to the ingenuity and foresight of its creators, leaving us with the tantalizing possibility that the answers have been right in front of us all along. As researchers delve deeper into the mysteries of Oak Island, the significance of Nolan's cross becomes ever more apparent. The sacred numbers that underpin its design are not mere coincidences, but deliberate markers left by those who sought to conceal their secrets, while providing a map for those worthy enough to decipher it. The journey to uncover the treasures of Oak Island is not just a physical quest but a journey of the mind, requiring an understanding of mathematics, geometry, and the sacred knowledge of the ancients.